stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I have no topic today. Still don't have one. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. We'll figure out something. Right? We'll figure out something will happen. That what?
Chiropractor.
What about chiropractor? I talked about it yesterday. Yeah, I'm a half inch taller. I'm back to 5'9.5". Yeah, the chiropractor was awesome. Chiropractor was phenomenal. I still feel a lot better. My neck still kind of aches a little bit, but it was just the first time. But there was one crack that, man, I've been waiting on my neck for that crack for 3 years, probably, not more like 2. All right. Still don't have a topic. Here's the thing is, I've been through these books 3-4 times now, and I think what I need to do is find, because what I do is I find inspiration first. I don't just pull these out of my head. Well, sometimes I do. Like here was one, emotional vampires. So you have little things written down all over the place that, look at. I'm like, oh yeah, I can talk on that. But I didn't feel like talking about emotional vampires because that means I'm talking about other people, and I don't feel like doing that anymore. May we tend to get caught up in the rut, the things that go on in life, right? Yeah. And there's our topic. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Gian. I'll be your host today. I'm pretty darn good at it, so took practice. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. And I do have to do a 10-step here right after this. If you like this video or you feel like it could help somebody else, please share it. That's the best way to support us. So, and I need to apologize to Amber for not getting up on time. We were supposed to do this at 11:30 today. And she usually comes on with me. So I have to make that amends because that was a commitment that I made that I did not follow through on. So I wanted to do it here, and I'll be doing it with her personally. So. Retrogressive groove. That's what we're going to talk about. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. All right. I do all sorts of voices. I think it's time to get into those. A lot of cool stuff going on. So the retrogressive groove. This usually happens at about the 12th step. Step 12. Step 12, the infamous. Step 12. You did? Yeah. Well, this is the way. This is the way. I'm a huge Mandalorian fan. Huge. But they need to put more out. It's not enough. I need more. Do we always want more? I want more. I want more. All right. You guys probably don't know that song unless you really got into goth. All right. What? You didn't know that? You know I was a goth at one point? Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, goth. I dress goth. You're not required to. Anyway, all right. I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade. That was fun. The good old days. The good old days, right? But Yes, it was Sisters of Mercy. Woo! Good job. Good job. Facebook user wins. I don't know who you are yet. Presuming it's somebody that I know very well, though. I think it's either Mandy or Bobby. But yeah. So what happens is sometimes we get through the steps. And this is sometimes. But sooner or later, something's going to happen. And it's going to go kind of like this. I'm fucking tired of talking about AA. I'm tired of talking about recovery. It's going to happen. I go through it. I go through it like once a month. Because I do it all the time. It's literally all I do. Not true. Not true. See, there's balance in here. There's balance. Your job, your only job is to be of maximum service to God and the world around you. That does not mean service work 24 hours a day. No. You got to take care of yourself first. You got to take care of you first. So when I wake up in the morning, I work on me first. That's why I'm radio silent. I'm actually up and you're texting me. I'm not answering yet because Dion is going through his day. Okay. The only thing I answer in that hour are if things need to be taken care of right then and there. That's the only thing. Other than that, I take that time for me. And then I usually come on here. Today, that didn't quite work out. I was getting ready to come on. Sponsee calls. I got to take that call. It's a priority. Okay. Because this guy usually doesn't call. So something's going on. And that's what he was going through. He's going through that Dion. I don't know what to do. Things feel weird. This is odd. I am thinking it's okay to do something. And why is this happening to me? And I'll tell you why, if that's happening. It's because dopamine's only going to give you so much for something for so long. Okay? So when you're newly sober, those first 30 days are you're going to have this. You're going to be all over those first 30 days. Then when you hit about 30, it usually starts to go like this a little bit, right? Just a little bit. And you start feeling this newness. See, we tend to think that once we have completed the 12 steps, that things aren't going to happen like they used to. But they are, but it's going to be magnitude. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger than you. Okay? And what you need to do is you need to find something that you would enjoy. This person, what I did is I said, hey, because it's a flood. Here's the problem. See, when I pick my sponsees, they tend to stick around. When people ask me, they disappear immediately. Almost always. I have one guy right now. No, I asked him. And even then, he had talked to me for, it's been like a year. Maybe it hasn't been that long. I may be off. I'm not the best at time. And, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. And the reason I stopped doing it is because he wasn't showing up. Call, no show me. I'm done. I won't even contact you. I will the first time. Okay. But I'm not going to go chasing you. So what was the thought here? Well, I said, well, why don't you try starting your own meeting? Try that. Make an autonomous meeting. Make your own meeting with a group of people that are like you. You are allowed to do that. You are allowed to be autonomous. Here's the rules behind it. He's like, that's a great idea. I said, how about a part-time job? Yeah, I could do a part-time job. I said, but you can't just go get a part-time job. You need to get a part-time job that you enjoy, that you want to do. It's not about the money. It's about the service. It's about you. Okay? And if you let yourself sit in that retrogressive groove for too long, you're going to relapse. How can you tell? What are some signs? What are some signs? One, your mind starts thinking you might not need AA. It's usually the first indicator. It's usually the one that you catch. Let me put it that way. Trust me, you're relapsing way before that. Here's your very, 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 very first indicator. You're going to meetings and feeling totally dissatisfied. That's your first clue. Nothing's wrong with the group, I can tell you that. I went through this. See, you've changed. My main meeting that I go to is a newcomers meeting, because it is my job to help take care of the newcomers. And this meeting has a lot of newcomers, so I'm able to help a lot. Right? Now, if let's say I take that hour and go somewhere else where it's an old timers meeting, who am I doing that for? Probably me. Nope. You met the Sisters of Mercy? You're awesome, Emma. I love you. But not just for that. That is really cool. And I bet you said, and I want more. Tell you, I will break into song. Do all the time. Let's pull out Keys of the Kingdom. There it is. If you weren't here in the beginning, the topic was no topic. I did not pick a topic for today. I just showed up and started talking. I wanted to see how it would work. Hey, okay. Good to see you, Gian. Johnny boy. Let's do it for Johnny, man. Let's do it for Johnny. Here it is. Here it is. The Sweet Keys to the Kingdom. This is my favorite part of the big book. I read it every time I speak, every time I tell my story, because this person has read my mail. Right? AA is not a plan. Hold on, Emma, hold on to that idea, because there's no reason why we cannot do an online thing like that. There's no reason we can't, just so you know. I'm looking at a lot of different things right now. Okay. Once I bring in this marketing person, it's balls to the wall, man. Balls to the wall, man. Now name that group. You got your balls to the wall. Raw. That's death metal. Let's do a lot of music. We all do. What kind of music you like? Well, I like all music. I don't like all music. I don't like shit rap or country. Actually, I don't really mind country that much, but I won't put it on my radio. For some reason, my stereo doesn't tune into country. Just seems to go right past us. Weird. So AA is not a plan for recovery that can be finished and done with. No. I'll tell you when you're done, when you're dead. Okay? It is a way of life, and the challenge contained in its principles is great enough to keep any human being striving for as long as he lives. And here's our answers. Here's our answers. Around the world, around the world. I know my techno. It's just that it reminds me of Molly and, ecstasy and the I just can't handle anymore. So, Miles, who is probably the best techno person in the world. Also, did you know that Boy George is actually a big techno person? Yeah, sure is. Okay. We cannot outgrow this plan. Okay. Well, let's get back to this. Contained in its principles is great enough to keep any human being striving. The principles of the AA. Every AA step, by the way, that was accept, falls to the wall. Every single step has a principle. Every single step. So when she, because a female wrote this, if I recall correctly, what she is saying here is if you take a look at the principles, it will keep you striving. There's so much to be done. It's a matter of whether you're willing to do it or not. Okay? Some of us are not willing to go to detox meetings. Maybe they scare us too fucking much. Actually, that wouldn't be unwilling. I don't think. You're unwilling, but being willing doesn't require any action. But if you let God know, hey, I am willing to do that, then He will start to give you the tools that you need to do it. So we cannot outgrow this plan. I've never seen anybody beat the game, ever. Right? And you can just trust me on that. Because I've been around. Really? No, that's AC/DC. And his big balls. Okay. And it's talking about ballroom dancing. I don't know what people have a problem with that. No, it's not. Okay. As arrested alcoholics, we must have a program for living that allows for limitless expansion. That means we are striving towards perfection. You're not going to make it. It's okay. It's all right. You're still human. Don't worry about it. There's been no more pressure put on you. You just need to become better every day. Do it. Just do it. But others may idle in a retrogressive groove without too much danger, but retrogression can spell death for us. Yeah, we cannot stay in that ditch for very long. Normies can do it. They handle their shit different. So don't compare yourself to normies. So I tell you what now, okay? My wife handles this shit much better than I do. Okay? See, I'm on the opposite side where I need to drive this into my head all the fucking time because I was born without a set of frickin' morals, man. I was born a conniving, manipulating, thieving little shit. I was good at it. And you were good at it. And it fucked us up. Now we're going to take those same skills. They're the same skills. They're just the same and opposite. So walk it back. Walk it back. However, this isn't as rough as it sounds, as we do become grateful for the necessity that makes us toe the line. And we find that we are compensated for a consistent effort by the countless dividends we receive. Okay? I just got that phone call from my sponsee, right? We had a good talk, and at the end he tells me something. I'm like, oh yeah, we do need to talk. So he brought it up for the end, a little shit. I can't tell you it. Just know that it's there. I know you guys are okay with it. So it isn't as tough as it sounds. It is kind of in the beginning because it's new and I had fear. But once I got through it and got to the other side, I found that I was able to use my tools. I was Karate Kid. And it was intuitive. It just came, the answer just came. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to do this. I just had to give myself 2 seconds. I do the 4 seconds now. Do 4 seconds. Okay. That was 2 seconds. So 4 isn't going to really make much of a difference. At 5 seconds, though, people are going to wonder why you're not talking yet. Just so you know. Okay. But take the extra couple of seconds. I actually become grateful for some of the things that come across because I can handle that. That's kind of easy. A complete change takes place in our approach to life. Where we used to run from responsibility, we find ourselves accepting it with gratitude that we can successfully shoulder it instead of wanting to escape some perplexing problem. We experience the thrill of challenging the opportunity it affords for another application of AA techniques, and we find ourselves tackling it with surprising vigor. Once you become a person who is solution based, the answers will always come. Ding, 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 ding. Doesn't matter how big or small the problem is. That's you doing that. All problems are the same size. It's us that determines its level according to our perception. The problem is what it is. The problem is a fact. It's a fact. It happened. Good or bad, big or small, it happened. You got to treat each one the same. Treat each one the same. It's a problem, neither big nor small. Neither first or third world country kind. They're just problems, and everybody has them. Right? Your problems are no different than anybody else's, including homeless people. Okay? Before we had houses and everything, we lived in damn caves. Okay? Okay? You never ran away and slept in the park? Come on, man. I did. But I ran away from group homes. Real quick story. All right. So I was in this one group home. It was called Adolescent Family Institute of Colorado, AFIC, and I did not want to go there. I was already at a group home. I was third level. I had freedom. I was doing really well. I was getting straight A's. At that point, I was actually ready to go back to school, get my high school degree and do the right thing. I was ready. And I told my parents that. But unfortunately, my parents had given up custody. So it wasn't up to them. And the courts wouldn't listen to me. So anyway, so I go to this placement. I try and run the first night they catch me. Next day they put a shirt on me, property of AFIC, and they say, you can't go play football at the park with the other people. I was like, oh my God, but who? I don't get to go play at the park. And I spent the rest of the day figuring out where my shit was. And I found it. I found my stuff. Right? Nobody was around. But I looked up on this board and I saw that we were going White River rafting. We were going White River rafting. Right? I was 16. Yeah, 16. And I'm like, you know what? I want to go White River rafting. That sounds fun. So I played their game. Oh, man. I was the epitome of a great guy. I was lying to them. I was blowing smoke up their ass, and they bought it. They bought it. Okay? I became the Boy Scout of their whole unit. See, I've been doing this shit for a while. And I had a plan. So we went White River rafting because you know what? You know what they had to bring you? Tents, sleeping bags, all these things I needed to live on the streets. Right? July 4th came. By this time, it had been about a month that I was there. It was crazy. I knew it would be crazy that day. I knew it would be. And I knew that they would have their guard down. So I grabbed another guy to run with me because I knew if I talked another person into running with me, they wouldn't take me back. Oh, boo! We're all ready to go, getting ready to go swimming. We grab our stuff and we shove our stuff out the bathroom window behind the building. This place is off Kipling and 38th, and you know it. It's got a Y, okay? And my job was to take out the trash. So we grab the trash, we go, and we book it. I throw this blanket over the wire fence. We climb it, go over, and go to this pathway that's just across, goes straight into the neighborhood, and it winds around the back way down to Wadsworth. They didn't know we were gone for 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. Okay. And I made it back down to Littleton. I was living in Puma Park for a little bit. What I had done is, see, what you do is if you go like certain place, all you need to do is dig a little bit and you make a hole so that when the cops come by, they can't see you. I would sleep great. I'd wake up to children playing around me. Nobody ever said anything. And at one point, I actually moved back into my parents' house. And they had no clue I was living there. I was living there for like a month and a half. I was showering, eating, sleeping in my room. I went back 15 years later to fix a phone at Adolescent Family Institute of Colorado. And they remembered me. You're Dion. I'm Dion. Yep. So I fixed their phone and left. All right. They're out of business now. Fun story for the two people here. So, because I don't think this number lies anymore. Yeah, even Emma left. All right. The last 15 years of my life have been rich and meaningful. I've had my share of problems, heartaches, and disappointments because that is life. But I've also known a great deal of joy and a peace as the handmaiden of an inner freedom. I have a wealth of friends. Yeah. Let's do this one later. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because we're coming up on 30 minutes. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back down to 15 minutes because I'm just losing people and I don't like that. So I will see everybody at 3 o'clock meeting. I love you. Peace out.